Hi Thomas, you like the last one. This top ought to really piss you off. Okay, here's the secret to this top, Thomas. Do you know what the time says in the back of it? And this is when you should really try to squeeze it. It says SP. Do you know what that stands for? Small petite. Okay, so there's a small petite, and you know, these are really cute. I love these. Just recently. So, sometimes there are some people that were meant to be female, like I said, but you're not one of them. Let's face it, Thomas. Come on, you finger dogs, and you rape little kids, and your whole idea of trying to wear makeup is absurd. It's really bad. I saw a thing of it. Light powder blue eyeshadow. And I haven't even put on any mascara yet. So I haven't even done that stuff yet. I've done pretty much everything else but that. It's usually one of my last ones. But I tell you what, listening to you sit there and talk about how you're a woman and what you look like, boy, you are not anywhere near being female. Okay, so let's face it, this is not your forte. It really isn't. So, you really shouldn't go around spreading lies and crap about things you don't understand. And you know, I've asked a bunch of you the same thing. How do you expect to fit in with women? You don't even know how to talk with us or talk with you. Oh, the guys. Young Thomas, you really don't have any clue about where I was in life anyways. But you keep on insisting on trying to be female with no hair. That's what I work with. But, oh well, Thomas. You're not well in the head. We know this, okay? So, well, God, I fucking hate splitting. I miss words. Fucking quit my hair down. I really wish I was still here. I'm going sickly with my hair. So last time I come home, it's like, so how you like my hair? Why? Because it makes like a woman. Oh, whatever, Dad. So like I said, Thomas, really to tell you the truth, why would you even say that you're a woman when you look like that? Let's face it, you're grossing out. See, every woman does the same thing in the morning, and I've been up a little while, but I'm doing things. But really, so yeah, SP Thomas, that would be short petite. So that's why you will never actually fit in with females. Because you're not one of us. And you're this big, giant, fat, huge man. You scare girls when you come around, and you really can't talk with this because you talk like a man. You don't have any of the conversation portions that we would have. That's how we catch fakes, because they can't talk with the women that are more naturally female. And you obviously wouldn't. You'd be lurching over them going, which is disgusting and very male, which you are. So, do know you don't really fit in. And transsexual women don't really want to be lumped together with the GNCs or the transvestites. That's really disgusting to us to be lumped together with the ones that keep their little things between their legs and the ones that never even go on hormones to begin with. When, to us, the operation is mandatory. Like Jazz Jennings, that's a transsexual. I'm a transsexual. And to those that knew from 3 to 7 years of age, it's usually going to be mandatory that they get the operation to them. And to hold someone back from that because you want to run around and say, oh, there's no need for the operation, it's not that good anyways, and who cares? But most of us don't. No, all transsexuals do. That's one of the major things that pushes us towards a bad end. And it gets worse and worse and worse, and it keeps getting worse. And you really don't know how bad it really gets when you have to listen to doctors say stupid shit, and you have to sit there and go through decades of, please just help me. And then you get there and some she-male is running around saying, oh, well, you know, you don't really need the operation. You don't. I do. It's mandatory in my book. It's something that I've been, you know, since I found out I could have that operation, I've wanted, regardless of the fact that it was a butcher job back when I was supposed to get it, where they told you, oh, well, you know, it'll look like a vagina, it'll feel like a vagina to him, but you're not going to feel anything. Well, still need it. Okay. You know, that's pretty horrible sounding there. So I'm going to be just a numb wound down there that he's able to use, and that's pretty much that, and I'm not going to get anything. Well, schedule me up for the programs because I have to have it. Now you get lubrication and, you know, climax and all these different things, but these females are running around saying it's a horrible job anyways, and it doesn't really matter, but yes, it does. And it's a hell of a lot better than when I was scheduled for it back in the 80s. So, yeah. When you go around sitting there saying that, oh, trans is all, no. Transsexual females are transsexual females. There is a massive difference between a transsexual female and a GNC, and that goes with our BSTC, which is the study that excluded the GNCs out of it because they had a male BSTC portion of them. And then there was the transsexuals who knew from 3 to 7 years of age, and it showed that there was an actual female neuron set in the BSTC from birth. It wasn't changed by hormones in adulthood because they had some controls that never took them. But these were transsexual females like Jazz Jennings and myself, not ones that, oh, I guess I'm a gay guy, and then goes to gay clubs and say, hey, well, I'll just take hormones, I guess I'm a trans woman. No, that's not the story. And our stories are always the same. Might differ a little bit, like Jazz actually getting accepted and allowed to be her all her life, instead of being, you know, having the shit beat out of you all your life and stuck in a private all-male school and done this too and all the rest of the things like I had to go through. Okay. And she didn't have to go listening to, you know, if you don't stop the girl shit, you know, knock off the girl shit, you're going to be really, really sorry, and then get the shit beat out of them. So, yeah. It kind of makes you not want to deal with watching a she-male, which, by the way, some person dragged them to one of those places with them all in there, and they were nasty and rude, and stuck their nose up. And I couldn't help it. The fuck? You think it's fucking, you know, fair for everyone? Fuck no, it's not. And just because you look like that and I look like this, you don't stick your fucking nose up in the air. Okay, so I'm better looking than you, and always will be. It's not my fucking problem. I can't help it that I'm smaller and that my proportions fit female clothes a hell of a lot better. Thomas. I guess that's me. And short petite. As I told you, Thomas, I'm not some big fat giant man that should be wearing a muumuu. I can wear smalls, mediums, and still need to lose some weight because my dog was over here for a while. I need about 20 pounds maybe, but other than that, I'm fine. Thomas. And all the rest of you folks, understand that some of us have to transition, and we have to transition fully. It's not a matter of optional surgeries or this, that, or the other thing. No, not to a transsexual female. I need my surgeries. It's something that I've wanted since I was little. I mean, how I used to sit there and before I realized there was no such thing as a fucking God and pray, please let me wake up a girl or not wake up at all. So do realize the seriousness of this condition and stop trying to make light of it. It's really quite horrible when I sit there and think of all the misery that I put up with since I was 3 years old. And I'm supposed to let everything and anything and everything talk over the top of me. And then when I find out how horrifically horrible a trans kid's life really the fuck is. And then I hear these people, 3-year-olds don't know. Oh, God. I wish that was so fucking true. I really did, because I would have never said a shit fucking thing to my mother. But that's not the truth. That's not the reality. And you don't get that fucking shit. You don't understand it. Little kids can't make up their mind on what gender they are. Yeah, no, we can't. That's why we go around fighting with our mother about being a female and getting the living hell kicked out of our ass every day. So, when you sit there and you try to think that you understand and know something, when you really don't get the fucking clue of what I fucking went through. Oh, I wish I had known. I wish I could have been just regular or whatever the fuck. Than to actually I didn't know what I was saying when I told her. I really didn't know it was going to start this shit for the whole entirety of my fucking life and never get the end of it. And even though people know, and I mean, they all know, I mean, they walk up to her and say, her, I mean, how obvious can you be, Mom? You know, you should give up on this shit again. You know, don't you remember the 90s when you finally fucking said it? You're a female. Yeah, I know I am. Of course, you know, I lost 2 thirds of my top, which was the only thing that Transsexual ended up being right about. I mean, everything else was fucking bullshit lie. I mean, hormones did a lot more than just move a little bit of fat around, jackass. Should have told me that shit too, man. Oh, you'll know in 3 weeks. Oh, no, I won't. No one ever told me about having fucking periods, you jackass dumb fuck. So I'm running around having these periods, and you haven't told me shit except that you'll feel in 3 weeks. Okay, no, that's not a good enough explanation. You should have told me you're going to be a really moody bitch in about 3 weeks. You might want my son to that fucking crop duster because you're probably going to explode on his ass, which I did. And I told him his, you know, how to get his big fat ass in that itty bitty window with that itty bitty little plane. And he didn't like it much. But anyways, yeah, that's why, Thomas, you shouldn't go around talking shit about stuff you don't know. You really don't. And don't follow a she-male and think that that's the only authority because they're young. I've had more time out as a trans than they've been alive.